to this year's Student Rep Awards. My name is Sarah and I'm your Welfare and Equality Officer here at the Students' Union, and I'm here tonight with Rowan, who's our Education Officer. Thank you everyone for joining Rowan and I this evening in celebrating the fantastic achievements of our student volunteers in NUTV. Nominations were submitted by both staff and students, and the quality of submissions this year was excellent, which created a very difficult task when it came to shortlisting the nominations. Even if you're not a winner of your category tonight, you're all here tonight because you created notable impact, which will continue to be recognised. Thank you to all those who took time to submit nominations, to the NUTV staff who shortlisted, and ultimately to all those student changemakers amongst us tonight.
Thank you, Sarah. It's great to see so many people here tonight. You're a credit to yourselves and the students you represent, so thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for the hard work you've put in this year. Just a quick reminder that some of the winners tonight from these awards will be shortlisted for a Pride of Newcastle Award later this month. No, June. Yep, June, sorry. So the format for tonight is myself and Sarah will announce the category. We will then speak a little bit about that category. We will then read out the nominees. After the nominees, we will announce the runners-up. So if you are announced as the runner-up, can you please come up to the stage? We will hand you your certificate. And if you could pause for a photo with myself and Sarah at the front of the stage before returning to your seat. We will then read out the winner. And if you could come up, and you will get a lovely glass trophy. And after that, it would be really lovely if you could just say a few words about just about your year, or just a few words of thanks. And then again, pause for a photo before going back to your seat. We also have 3 keynote speakers this evening. They're dotted around in the programme. You'll be able to see them. We're really, really lucky to have them, so just thank you for those 3 people agreeing to speak tonight. So, on to the first award of the evening. Undergraduate Course Rep of the Year. This award will be given to an undergraduate course rep whose work has secured demonstrable change on their programme during the course of this academic year. The winner will have actively sought student input on how to enhance key areas of their degree programme, such as the content, teaching and learning resources. They will have used this information to make a positive contribution to student staff committee meetings, ensuring that the views of their cohort are listened to and acted upon by staff.
And the nominees of this award are Diane Odede, Jamie
Yeah, please clap between each one. Show your support.
Jamie McEwen, James Prowse, Paige Richardson Khan, Francesca Rotherer, and Imi Sims.
So, the runner-up for our first award of this evening is Paige Richardson Kane. Unfortunately, Paige could not be here tonight, so I'd like to invite Gillian Salmon to come up and collect the certificate.
Okay, on to the second award of the evening is our Postgraduate Course Rep of the Year.
Oh, sorry, no, it's the winner, it's the winner.
Oh, sorry, it's the winner.
Sorry, I got confused. Okay, so, and the winner is Diane Odede. Sorry. Do you want to say a few words? I'm so sorry.
We have rehearsed this, I promise.
I'm really sorry.
That's all right. I guess I just want to say thank you to you guys, to Ben and Amy for nominating me. It's a nice award, nice thing to put on my shelf. But yeah, I think something I really like about the awards in general is just hearing what everyone's done. I think while this is a nice thing to put on the shelf, like I said, it's nice to hear what everyone is doing in the uni, in different departments, and I guess that's an award in itself, isn't it? Yeah?
I am very sorry about that. Now on to our second award of the evening is the Postgraduate Course Rep of the Year. So the winner of this award will be an exceptional postgraduate course rep, recognising the unique challenges posed by postgraduate study. They will have worked closely with their cohorts and staff to bring about a positive student-led change in a timely fashion that will benefit current and future students alike.
And the nominees for this category are Zhao Qing Bi, Julia Elb, Navi Navanethan, David Story, Sven Romajan, and Julie Tong.
And the runner-up is David Story. Unfortunately, David could not be here with us this evening, but we will be giving his certificate next week. And the winner of this award is Navi Ethan.
Cheers, man.
There's a microphone.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you. All right. Good evening. Hi. I don't want to take it this long. Thank you very much. It was an exceptional, great year. And hope you enjoyed the evening. And yeah, thanks.
So, now on to the Global Campus's Academic Rep of the Year Award. Whether it is an amazing school rep, course rep, or SSC student chair or secretary, we want to celebrate and recognise the contribution that our academic reps make to the student experience at the university's global campuses in London, Malaysia, and Singapore.
And the nominees for this award are Nusrat Jahin Angela, Alosia Han, Y Pen Go, Chris Sleaton, and Samin Sahal.
So, our runner-up this evening, it is Nusrat Jahin Angela. Who is not here, so we'll make sure it gets to them. And on to our winner. So, here, all the way from Malaysia, Y Pin Go. You'll get a trophy later. It's just being engraved.
Okay.
Okay. Is that all right?
Sure.
Would you like to say a few words?
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm from Malaysia. My name is Wipit. First of all, I'm very excited and happy for this wonderful opportunities. Thank you very much to Newcastle University and, of course, to our brilliant student unions. Although this is just a personal award to me, but for me this is a result of good teamwork and dedications. So I want to say thank you to my teammates who are present here tonight. And for Tyler, my deputy chair, Tyler, please stand up. And, yeah, and my secretary, Joshua. And two of my very hardworking student reps, Jinian and Kejo, please. Thank you very much. That's all from me. Thank you.
Can you believe that? All the way from Malaysia just for the Student Rep Awards. We're blessed. Okay, so we've come to our first keynote speaker of the evening. Louisa Wakeling is the Stage 1 Director of the BDS programme, as well as taking on the role of Staff Facilitator on the Dental School's Student Staff Committee. This year, Louisa has been working closely with my colleague Dr. Joe Barton on the Dental School Skills Project, which looks at how involvement in academic representation will help with the professionalisation of dental students and how to recognise and reward the skills developed. Please welcome Louisa to the stage.
Good evening. Okay, so to all the students here tonight, it suggests to me that your presence is here because of something amazing that you've done. Something that is beyond that which is expected of you. You've pushed the boundaries and maximised an opportunity. Not only that, but it is likely that you've done this on behalf of your fellow students. You've represented them, or you've bettered the process for representation. You have stood up for something. You have enacted change. You have fulfilled the true meaning of effective representation. You have made the student voice count. The student voice in this university is a very important thing at all levels, at all times. It's a serious element in the workings of a university, and it requires students and staff to work together in partnership. With this comes hard work and skill. We need to look less at our SSCs being complaints forums and utilise them more as a showcase of students' efforts and ideas to better the learning community in which they are studying. With this also comes hard work and skill. Most students, when I ask, so why do you get involved in representation, normally say to me, because it's something that I just put on my CV. And I'll say, well, what is it that you're going to write? What is it that you will say at interview? And the students, rather struggle with this to articulate it. And they'll say to me things like, oh, well, I get experience of teamwork, I build my confidence, and I improve my organisational skills. And I'll say to them, you should describe how you push the boundaries, how you maximise an opportunity, that you did this on behalf of your fellow students because you represented them. You stood up for something, you enacted change. You fulfilled the true meaning of effective representation, and you made the student voice count. Representation is everywhere, and it certainly doesn't stop at university. It continues throughout your life and will be important in your career and your profession. No matter whom you work with, they will all need a voice. Developing the know-how and the skills so that you can create a forum for and become part of a community where feedback can be shared and listened to will be an outstanding quality that you can bring to a company, an institution, or a profession. Everybody wants to belong to a workplace where they feel valued and have a say. A student's involvement in extracurricular activities has been shown to be a more accurate predictor of workplace competence than grades. So that's why a couple of our students and I are working on the value of taking part in the representation process and the relevance it will have to future professions. So usually there are certain standards or code of conduct to which most professions, if not all, abide by. Look at these for your future profession. What skills will you need in your future profession, and can you maximise their development when you're carrying out your representation duties? Many different aspects to representation, and it's a process, can appear in the workplace and uncannily reflect many of the processes that particular professions will carry out. If you are to become a dentist, you must promote a culture of openness in the workplace so that people feel able to raise concerns, and you should be doing this in your SSEs now. If you are to become a solicitor, you must listen well to your client and take action in an open and timely and coordinated manner, as you should do now in representation. So you can see where I'm going with this. As a GP, you may represent local doctors at a clinical directorate meeting to change future policy. As a music teacher, you may need to represent your discipline at government meetings on budgets for arts, taking forward the opinions of others. And as a university lecturer, you need to provide a forum for where your students can have their voice heard. Representation is everywhere. Tonight, I want you to think about exactly why you're here, and importantly, what is it that you've done, and how will that be relevant to your future profession? Make this time count and maximize your opportunity.
Thank you very much, Louisa. Okay, so you've got through the first third of the evening. Promise we're going to up our game in this one. But over to Sarah for the next award.
Thank you. So next award is the SSE Student Secretary of the Year. The winner of this award will be a student secretary who has excelled in all aspects of the role. They will have ensured that all relevant information has been circulated to committee members in a timely fashion, as well as supporting the chair wherever necessary. In doing so, they will have enabled their student staff committee to run smoothly and created a positive atmosphere in which to achieve change.
And the nominees for this award are Liam Butler, Elena Douglas, Nicole El Malouf, Amjad Natur, and Scarlett Rowland.
And the runner-up is Liam Butler. Unfortunately, Liam's unable to make it tonight, but we will give his reward to him at a later date. And the winner of the award is Amjad Natur. Unfortunately, also, Amjad is unable to make it tonight as well, so we'll give him his award at a later date too.
Okay, so on to our next award, SSC Student Chair of the Year. This award will be given to the student chair who has demonstrated outstanding leadership of their staff student committee. Working closely with their committee secretary and staff facilitator, they will have nurtured a positive environment at meetings that has enabled students to work together, develop positive solutions, and create change.
And the nominees of this award are Jess Belch, Jani Buhio, Samantha Cook, Jessica Cookson, Matthew Harper, Jack Kennedy, Veronica Milk, Ben Tattersall, and Jabreen Vahadi.
So, the runner-up this evening is Veronica Milk. Oh, we lied. It doesn't get better. Sorry about that. So, the winner of this award tonight is Samantha Cook. You do actually get the microphone this time.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you. So yeah, I'm the chair of the SSC in the School of English. Being a student is hard. Being an English student is hard. I know the scientists in the room won't believe me, but trust me, it is. But being a student is even harder when you're marginalized in some way. You might be the only black person in the room sometimes. You might have a mental health issue and you might be scared that your tutor won't understand. But my SSC has worked really hard this year to make the School of English a more inclusive place. We're going to be getting recap on every module, better signage in the Percy building so people actually know where the accessible toilets are. All staff are getting mental health training. That's something I'm really proud of. I'm graduating this year, but hopefully for English students, it'll be a much more inclusive and enjoyable experience. And I hope that we can all make sure to be inclusive in our representation. Thanks. Have a good night.
And on to the undergraduate student rep of the year. So this school rep will have made an outstanding contribution to the student voice in their school, always acting in the best interest of those they represent and playing an active role on the various university and students' union committees they attend. The winner will have facilitated demonstrable student-led change at school or faculty level that has enhanced the academic experience of those they represent.
And the nominees are Reuben Bennett,
And the winner of the award is Reuben Bennett.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. It's been a great year and a really good opportunity being school rep. I'd like to thank everyone from the dental school for supporting me through it. It's been really fun, and I hope that it will continue next year when whoever takes over from me carries on. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Congratulations, Reuben. Now, onto the Postgraduate School Rep of the Year Award. This award recognises the unique challenges faced by postgraduate school reps. The school rep will have played an active role in their school and faculty, working closely with students, staff, and the Students' Union to secure change that has had a tangible, positive impact on the academic experience of postgraduate students.
And the nominees of the award are Natasha Ork, Bronte Corner, Jake Hanmore, Emma Kamparaki, Timur Asochi, Chris Whiten,
And the runner-up tonight, I believe he's actually stuck in Turkey, so is definitely not here tonight, but Timur Osadci. And the winner of the Postgraduate School Rep of the Year Award is Emma Kamparaki.
Thank you. In my first year at Newcastle, I got the Hold Rep award, and this is my last representation year because I'm hopefully finishing my PhD. Let's see. So can I just thank George Watkins for his help throughout those 4 years? And Joe Barton as well for his help this year. I feel really close to the Students' Union, although a postgraduate student, and I really feel how it is to be quite busy with your studies at the same time as representing other people. So thank you very much for everyone who helped me in this role, and really have a great evening tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations, Emma. And on to the Student Staff Committee of the Year. This award will be given to a student staff committee that has consistently demonstrated exemplary practice during the course of the academic year, nurturing productive working relationships between staff and students. The committee will have worked together to facilitate tangible, positive changes that have enhanced the academic experience.
And the nominees are Undergraduate Business Accounting and Finance, Combined Honours, MA Applied Linguistics and TESOL, MBBS Stage 4 Student Staff Committee from Malaysia. They're actually here tonight, so give them a big round of applause. UG and PGT School of Computing. And the PGR School of Natural and Environmental Sciences.
And the runner-up, all the way from Malaysia, is MBBS Stage 4 Student Staff Committee from Malaysia.
You can all come up if you want. Fine, don't then. Your loss.
Do you please come out, please?
And the winner, School of Computing, undergrad and postgraduate.
He'll be doing the speaking. Thank you.
So, hiya. I'm Josh, I'm the Deputy Chair of the Student Staff Committee. Vic, who's the Chair, couldn't be here tonight. I did suggest putting on a wig, but I think that would have been wouldn't have worked. I don't really know what to say. I'm quite really happy that we won this. I'm also happy that we got Michael Bublé when we're coming up, because there's enough a bit of Michael Bublé. Honestly, I'm really, really impressed about what we've achieved this year in the Student Staff Committee, and I'm really happy that it's been, that the people who ranked us to win thought that as well. The Student Staff Committee is nothing without the rest of their reps, and obviously not everyone's here, but I know they're not here, but thank you to them as well, and thank you to everyone else. As reps, we have a really important job, and so everyone else who's been nominated tonight is really, really amazing. The stuff that you do as reps, even though if you've not won, you really do amazing stuff, so thank you to all of you as well.
Okay, now, on to our second keynote speaker of the night. It's Mr. Mark Linton. Mark has carried out a fantastic amount of work to improve relations between students and local residents. His involvement with Operation Oak, Leave Newcastle Happy, and his presence at the Jesmond Residents Association has gone a long way in calming the feelings towards student residents in Jesmond. He has also been integral to the implementation of the Best Neighbour on Campus Award Some of you may have seen it as a headline in the Daily Mail recently. It's worth a read, it's great. This scheme rewards student neighbours who have made a real difference to their community and been a real credit to the student body. Please welcome Mark to the stage.
Thanks, Rowan, and I wasn't expecting quite such a long build-up, so thank you. And can I say thank you for asking me to speak tonight? It's a real privilege, and it's just a fantastic event. Just to set the scene, my main job isn't about relationships in Jesmond. I'm director of the University Career Service, so I am going to talk a little bit about the value of student representation in helping you get the kind of job that you'll be seeking. But I do want to say a little bit about student representation, and because Louise has already talked about on campus, I am going to talk about the kind of difference it can make within the community. Before getting onto those two topics, can I just say as well that I chaired the judging panel for the Pride of Newcastle University Awards last week, and it was massively humbling, and it was a fantastic experience. What you're doing is absolutely amazing. Everybody who was nominated for an award there, just really fantastic. So, in terms of the graduate job market, you all know it's hugely competitive to get a graduate job. And you also know that your degree is the starting point, and it's what you add to your CV that will help you get the job that you're looking for. This isn't new. I've worked in University Career Services for 20 years. You can imagine what a fantastic life I've had doing that. And it's the same consistent message from recruiters all of that time. It's what you add to your CV that will get you the job that you're looking for. When I started working in universities, which was the 1990s, I worked as a careers advisor. And one of the things that I did, and some of you will have used this service at the career service, was checking CVs. It gave me a fantastic insight into what graduate recruiters go through. And it's actually quite repetitive once you start looking at CVs. So there were two things that helped me get through. The first was my addiction to energy drinks. The second thing that helped me get through was that I collected CV howlers. Now, if you're not sure what a CV howler is, these are things that students write on their CVs which are unintentionally funny. So some that I remember, and this is going back some time, but I remember one who started his covering letter with, "I hope to hear from you shorty," which I thought, it's a great introduction. And there was another student I really liked who said, "I have a criminal record, but I'm not in prison at the moment." So I thought, well, that's handy. At least you can make an immediate start. However, my all-time favourite CV howler was actually in the interest section on somebody's CV. Now, to me, the interest section on a CV is one which is sadly overlooked by many people, but actually it can give you a really good chance to show that you are the ideal candidate, you're going to fit in, you are like the person who is recruiting you. It's a great chance that you can show the attributes, the skills, the qualities that your recruiter can search for. So, bearing in mind that you want that to be your interest, to be the person that's hopefully going to share the desk next to you, this person had written on their CV that their main interest was donating blood. And they went on to say, and I could picture myself sitting next to them, they'd donated 15 pints so far. For everybody nominated tonight, you've got a lot more to put onto your CV than donating blood. So make the most of it. Make sure you stand out, and you've got fantastic experience which will help you in your career. And if you're not quite sure how to articulate that, if you do want help with your CV, please pop into the career service. We'll look through your CV. And if you're worried that I will share those in a future evening like this, all the examples I gave are from many, many years ago and from a different university. You'll never track down who I was talking about. The other thing I did want to just talk about very briefly is the impact which representation can have in communities. And Rowan's already talked about it a little bit. And this is the contribution which many of you have made in really improving the relationships between students and residents in Jesmond. And I'm sure many of you live in Jesmond, and many of you will know that the relationships with permanent residents isn't always a harmonious one. There are many reasons for this, and not least, I mean, I was reminded of this about 6 months ago when I came home late at night. I'd been out for the evening. It was virtually midnight. So you can imagine how tired I was, ready for bed, and who comes down the path towards me but my daughter, about to go out for the evening. Thankfully, I was asleep by the time she got back, which isn't always the case for our residents. But anyway, without going into the reason behind the issues, what became very clear when we started working in Jesmond was that actually one of the challenges is that residents and students often don't get to talk to each other, and residents often don't know what students are like. So what they talk about are the things which they are frustrated by. And this year, students, many of you here today, have got involved with, have been involved, not just this year, but before that, in volunteering, some of the massive litter picks that have been going on, working alongside residents, and that has improved relationships so much, it's untrue. So thank you so much to everybody who's done that. And it's basic psychology, that once you get people together and they start to find out about one another, you realise that actually you all want the same kind of thing. Rowan's already mentioned the Best Neighbour on Campus competition, and so I will give that a quick plug. If you're not familiar with this competition, it's basically a chance for you in your house to be nominated for a Best Neighbour on Campus award. The nominations are open throughout this month. It's the last competition of the year, and if you're successful, and it can be for literally being nice students to live next door to, and that is basically what residents want, but it can also be for students who've gone above and beyond. If you do want to be nominated, talk to your neighbours, make sure they know about the competition. You can win £1,000 for the Best Neighbour on Campus competition. The one caveat is, it can't be students nominating other students. It has to be a resident that's nominating you. And hopefully that's making a big difference. So, I know you know all of this, but student representation is a fantastic thing to have on your CV. Recruiters do look for things like this, things that set you apart from all of the other students, and also it's a fantastic way of reaching out into the community and making a massive difference outside in the city, where many of you will hopefully want to live and work when you graduate. So finally, just to say, to everybody nominated tonight, it has been amazing. For everybody nominated for the Pride of Newcastle University Awards as well, it really is a fantastic achievement, and the best of luck to all of you. Whether you're graduating this year, good luck in your career, and for everybody nominated, good luck with the awards. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mark. Got a couple of things to scrub off my CV now. That took a while. That rippled around the room. Mark, if possible, could you return Sarah's notes? I mean, you're welcome to introduce the next category if you really want to.
Thank you for that. So the next award of the night is the Hall Rep of the Year. The Hall Rep of the Year will have shown a real commitment to the role and impact positively on students' times in halls. They may have been active in gathering student views, taken these views to the hall executive meetings and created solutions to the issues raised. They may have also given effective feedback to the students in their halls and promoted any changes or achievements.
And the nominees are Iona Critchin, Charlotte Dawson, Sabrina Ikmal Hisham, Grayson Oxley, Dayan Samadziev, and Veronica Zhu.
And the runner-up of the award is Grayson Oxley. Now, unfortunately, Grayson couldn't make it this evening, but we awarded her with her award this afternoon.
Here's one we did earlier.
And the winner of the award is Iona Critchen.
Thank you for this award. I really didn't expect to win it. But I just want to say being a hall rep's been really great this year. We've done some amazing work with like the St Mary's bus route to really make positive change for the students. And it's just been amazing to be a part of it this year. So thank you.
So, on to the Community Rep of the Year award. The Community Rep of the Year is someone who has shown an outstanding commitment to representing students in the local area and who has made a positive difference to the community. They may have ensured that the student voice is heard, solved an issue, or genuinely improved the student experience in their area.
And the nominees of the award are Carmen Hung, Diane Odede, Andrew Stark, Ivy Yuyang, and Minjai Ku.
And the runner-up is Andrew Stark. And the winner of this award tonight, she's only gone and done it again, Diane Odede.
I was just thinking, wow, Andrew, how is he runner-up? He should be up here. But I guess thank you again. Like one of the colleagues mentioned from Malaysia, it's really team effort. There's so many people behind the scenes that you don't see. I'm just so surprised. But yeah, it's just thank you guys again. Thank you guys, everyone who's helped out. I can't list you all because it would be too long, but thank you, and I hope we do more great things as the term continues to go on, right?
Congratulations, Diane, again. So on to our final keynote speaker of the night. We have Emily Thomas with us this evening. Emily is the lead for the Change in the Culture project and has been in the post since January. With 20 years experience in human HR, and experience dealing with sexual harassment, violence and hate crime in other organisations, Emily has the perfect criteria to successfully lead this work and feels very passionate about this area of work. With additional experience working in the university for 2.5 years, Emily has worked on other successful university projects, including the alcohol and drug policy and other working groups. I'd like to invite Emily on stage to talk more about the Change in the Culture project and how the student voice has helped within this.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for that lovely introduction. First of all, I wanted to say what a privilege it is for me to be here tonight with all these amazing people. I know several people have said tonight that the winners, amazing, runners-up, fantastic, but I think all of you are winners here tonight because of the amazing work that you're doing in all the different projects and representation that you're doing across the university. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. So as Sarah said, my role at the university is currently to do with leading a project called Changing the Culture, which is all about looking at sexual violence on campus and hate crime on the campus. So these are quite heavy subjects. It's kind of, well, the thing I'm going to talk about tonight is about the importance of student voice within that project. So student voice is really important when it comes to the well-being of students. There are different ways that the Wellbeing Service listens to students. That can be via, for example, the evaluation of service users' experience. The Wellbeing Service consistently and continually evaluates the service that they provide to all users, even those who don't engage for whatever reason. And this feedback and student voice is incredibly valuable in allowing the service to ensure students' needs are being met. So, for example, student voice has brought about many changes, one of them being a very simple one, an increase in offering of telephone support for students if they are currently undergoing therapy and they have to go home for whatever reason, or it's the holidays and they go home, they can continue their therapy via the telephone. So all of the university counsellors within the Wellbeing Service are now trained in phone therapy, and they're able to offer this to students if it's necessary. And listening to student voice can bring about a really simple change. This can be about, for example, providing a performer for those students who are trying to obtain medical evidence from GPs to enable them to apply for disability support. So the Wellbeing Service, as I said, are constantly listening to student voice to look at what they can respond to in formal and informal ways as well. And they're always looking at new ways to gather new feedback. So student voice is a really big part of the project that I'm leading currently at the university. I have quite a long job title, as you can see. Project Manager, NU Culture, Respect Without Barriers. It's affectionately known as Changing the Culture Project. So what is the Changing the Culture Project? Well, in 2016, Universities UK published a report entitled Changing the Culture, a report of the Universities UK Task Force examining violence against women, harassment and hate crime affecting university students. Let's just be clear, this is an issue that all universities across the UK are looking at. Each university has someone who's coordinating this response, like me, in one way or another. In no way are we saying that there's a specific issue with sexual violence or hate crime at Newcastle University, but if you look at the size of our university community and you look at the statistics of groups of people where, for example, sexual violence is most likely to occur, for information that's females aged 16 to 18, statistically, it's sadly going to happen at some point. The university's response to this report was to set up a task and finish group to address the 33, yes I said 33, recommendations that came out of the report to address the issue of sexual violence and hate crime within our university communities. So, scoping of the project took place and a report with recommendations was taken to the University Executive Board. They signed off on every single one of those recommendations. So you can be assured that the university is 100% behind this project at the highest level. One of those recommendations was to create a project manager role, which is my job, and I've been in post, as Sarah said, since the end of January. My role is coordinating all of the work of this project and to ensure that all 33 recommendations are implemented. So how does the project work? One of my first tasks was to set up the steering group, made up of senior members of the university with specific subject matter experience and expertise. So that could be from the directors of diversity and inclusion for each faculty, to the president of NU Women, to representatives of student voice. Ronnie, our president of NUSU. Sarah, our welfare officer, to also people like student disciplinary convener. So it's a broad range of people from across the university. It's co-chaired by Suzanne Chollerton, and Leslie Braden, the academic registrar, is the other chair. So then we have an implementation group. This is co-chaired by the head of Student Progress Service and the director of Health, Wellbeing and Sport. And this meets monthly to review progress and ensure that all recommendations are delivered. To do this effectively, we've had to carve the project up. When I walked in tonight, Ronnie said, "How's the mountain of work going, Emily?" Because we have 9 different work streams on this project. So they can range from prevention and education, to training, to supporting HR issues, and communications. And again, members of these work streams are members of the university community who are best placed to contribute. So that can be from academics with in-depth knowledge of the subject area through their research, to the inclusion of the student voice in the project. And though by that we are ensuring we have a student voice via our sabbatical officers and/or part-time officers on every single work stream. So why are we doing this project? So many of the recommendations made by the report are things we actually already have in place at Newcastle University to support people who make a disclosure about sexual violence or report a hate crime. However, we can always improve the services we provide, either through procedure, protocol, training. The project acts as a way to bring all of these things together, and we're working really hard to A, try to prevent sexual violence or hate crime from occurring on our campuses through awareness, raising and training for all staff and students, and B, to ensure we provide the appropriate support to those who require it, and that includes anybody that's involved in it. Ultimately, we're doing this project to ensure that we provide the appropriate support to anyone within our university community who's affected by or is a survivor of sexual violence or any hate crime. Ensuring that people know what options are available to them is extremely important. Changing the culture is ultimately about respect. To use a phrase I know that the Director of Wellbeing, Health and Sport is fond of using, it's respect, irrespective. So how does student voice link into the Changing the Culture project? Student voice has been an integral part of this project to date, and it will continue to be. In order to meet the needs and requirements of our students, we need to ask them the right questions and listen to those answers, include their representatives in our decision-making at every level, and ultimately ensure they're part of the delivery. So how have students been involved in the Changing the Culture project? Well, as I said before, we've had student representation on all levels of the project right from the outset. A former NUSU president and former NUSU welfare officer were on the task and finish group helping to scope the project back in 2016-17. The welfare officer then, Rachel Kitching, went on to be employed by the university on a fixed term basis following the end of her term as a welfare officer at NUSU, and she carried on her excellent contribution to the task and finish group. And she fully researched and created the plan for the project. NUSU president, Ronnie Reid, has been involved in the project at steering group level, whilst our current welfare officer, Sarah, has been involved at all levels of the project, from steering group to implementation group, through to several of the work streams. Relevant NUSU societies have also made valuable contributions to the work of the work streams, including, for example, It Happens Here. So what's the impact that student voice has had? The impact of student voice is really, really important. I cannot stress that enough to all of you. You all know that. You're all representing your students here. But student voice is so important. It really brings about change. Each small change is a step towards the project's goal of culture change. And many of these things are happening now. So some of these examples include the project plan, created by a former student rep. It's still the template we're using for our project today. So I would say the student voice was pretty integral to the success of the project. The pilot of an evening service for therapy services last year. There was a demand from students there. The service met that need by listening to the students and listening to the student voice, and some were finding it difficult to access therapeutic services between the hours of 9 and 5 due to their course commitments. So they provided the service. The pilot was so successful, again, based on student voice, the project's looking to go to 4 nights a week from the next academic year. Student voice did that. Attendance rates at evening clinics are around 90%, and that's almost unheard of in therapeutic circles. Another thing we've done is link with specialist organisations. So again, by listening to student voice, we've been told that within the NHS, the wait's too long for people to get help. Students don't want to attend the clinics because it's obvious why they're there, the signs above the door. They may wish to keep whatever the reason they're there for private. So by providing specialist care in, for example, eating disorders, or by partnering with Rape Crisis on site at Kingsgate, they're given a level of anonymity. They could be there for anything. Another thing we've done is pilot awareness training with NUSU Sports Club's welfare officers. So we did that a couple of weeks ago. 28 signed up, 43 turned up. So this implies to me there's a strong support for the initiative to change the culture. The feedback we received about the awareness training, listening to the student voice, is invaluable in informing the way we approach this in the future. Telling us what you don't like and you don't like, what works and doesn't work, really, really does make a difference and has an impact. We got feedback from a third of the attendees at that training session. And if any of you are here tonight, I would personally like to thank you for providing that feedback, because that really is making a difference. So there are 3 levels of training within this project: awareness training, response training for those people who may receive a disclosure about hate crime or sexual violence, and then specialist training. So specialist training will be for people like SVLOs, so sexual violence liaison officers. Currently, we have now provided, the university has provided specialist training courses for 5 of these SVLOs across the university. That in no way means that there will be only 5. This is just the amount that we have just now. There'll be more trained if there is a need. Student disciplinary panel hearings, any student disciplinary with any content of sexual violence or hate crime within it. Anyone who sits on a student disciplinary panel has now been trained in how to deal with that and how to approach it more sensitively and appropriately. And then for HR staff as well, dealing with any staff disciplinaries to do with sexual violence or hate crime, they get specialist training too. But the continual and consistent presence of our NUTV officers and part-time officers and their involvement in the project has been really, really key. And I would personally like to thank all of them for all of the involvement that they have given us and all the commitment they've given as well. We already have handovers scheduled for all the new officers, some of who are here tonight, in June, and I'm really looking forward to working together with them to achieve the same goal, culture change at Newcastle University. So what are any future impacts as a result of this project? This project is really in its infancy. You can't achieve culture change overnight. It takes time. What I can tell you is student voice is integral to the success of this project. So, if you're ever asked to contribute, asked to give your voice as a student, please say yes. Your student voice can make an impact, and for this project, that means bringing about culture change in terms of sexual violence and hate crime. Sarah and I actually have a questionnaire that will be coming out later this month to ask for your opinion on certain aspects of the project. If you receive this, please answer it. It really does make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emily. And thank you for the fantastic work you're doing on such an important topic.
And on to the penultimate award of the evening is Campaign of the Year. So this award recognises the students who led the campaigns which you believe had the most impact this year. The impact of student-led campaigns is far-reaching and improves many students' experience. It may have increased your knowledge and understanding, encouraged you to join a support network, or inspired you to campaign yourself.
And the nominees tonight are Rags Community Cleanups, Disability Awareness Week 2018, Food for Fuel Week, Leave Newcastle Happy, and Ronnie Reid's Lasting Legacy, St Mary's Buses.
And the runner-up is Disability Awareness Week. Hey, Zoe. And the winner of Campaign of the Year is Rag Community Cleanups.
Hi everyone. Photo first. It's a massive privilege to receive this award tonight. I think when me and Jack took over last year, we saw ourselves organising fundraising events, street collections, but playing such a massive role in the relationship between students and the community was not something that we well, we didn't run our AGM on it basically, but it's been something that's came along across the year thanks to the work that we've done between the sabbatical officers, the NUTV staff, the Jesmond residents at Keep Jesmond Clean, and also university staff like Mark Linton. It's been a massive privilege to be involved in this year. I'm personally really excited to see where the RAG Society goes forward with this, what they decide to do in terms of building that relationship between students and the local community. If you'd like to get involved in RAG, we'll be having our AGM soon, and you can basically take that however you want. You can have your voice heard and basically help to deliver more change in the local area.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. We're also doing it as part of Leave Newcastle Happy, so if you'd like to get involved, yeah, it's on NUTV's website. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Some shameless self-promotion there. Okay, we have now come to our final award of the evening. It's a very special award, the Daniel Wood PTO of the Year Award. Here to introduce this and speak a little bit about Daniel, please welcome to the stage your current Chair of Student Council and Daniel's co-part-time officer for students with disabilities, Errol Kerr.
It's going to fall off. I'm just going to hold it. Thank you very much. So here I am again, holding you all up because you want to get home. On stage at the Student Rep Awards, lacing speeches with bad jokes and talking about an award that means more to me than I could ever consider putting into words. Last year, I won this award as one of NUTV's Students with Disabilities officers, alongside my late colleague, Daniel Wood. You might consider it cheating for this award to have been won by the only jointly held office last year, but I can't take credit much as I would like to. Daniel was the reason for that. From our election in November of 2016 through to April of last year, we achieved more than I could ever anticipated, more than either of us could have imagined. This award is for these officers, those of us who, like Daniel, go above and beyond what our roles dictate, those of us who haven't stopped at what we could do but decided to just do it anyway. Each of you have done this, some of course more than others, hence the need for an award. I'm glad to say that Daniel did know that we won this. It means so much to me that he knew the work that we had put into representing students with disabilities has been remembered. Described by more than one individual as forthcoming, a polite way of saying he gets stuff done, Daniel, to me, always represented the best aspect of being a part-time officer in this union. The truth is, it's hard. It's very difficult being in a representative role. Being a part-time officer is difficult, often understated and underappreciated, but a rewarding role nonetheless. Is it fun? Well, fun isn't something one considers when balancing the union, but this award, this represents everything we have achieved, everything you have achieved. Many of this year's PTO team knew Daniel, whether in passing or as friends. Before we move on to announcing the winner, I want to say something to this year's part-time officer team, all of you, including those of you who aren't here. You're a wonderful group, and even though many of us have struggled this year, I can say you've done me proud, and he would be proud of you too. So I'd like to ask for a round of applause before we get to the winning. So our nominees are Emma Dawson, Hannah Fitzpatrick, Zoe Godden, and Holly Waddell. Our runner-up is Zoe Godden. So, and our winner of the last award, before we go home, is Holly Waddell. So if you'd like to take the stage.
Thank you so much. It really is an honour to win this. For someone that struggled with the care and responsibilities and the degree, it really is like humbling to win this award. And I wouldn't have been able to make the changes that I had done without the support of George, Kay and Joe in the Rep and Dem office. They're here somewhere, I don't know where they are though, but thank you. And it is honestly really humbling to win an award with Daniel's name on it, who was a guy that I got to work alongside last year and also was privileged to call my friend, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Errol, and congratulations, Holly. Well deserved after 2 years of fantastic work. Well done. So, with that, we have reached the end of this evening's proceedings. Thank you to everybody who has come along. Thank you to the staff and the students who nominated. And congratulations to those nominated and those of you who have won. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you to everyone involved for such a fantastic year of student representation. Without the partnership between staff and students, we would not have grown the student voice as we have done this year. So thank you so much. And a thank you to all of the NUTV staff who have made tonight possible. To Kay, to George, to Joe, to Debbie, and the rest of the bar and the event staff. Thank you so much for all you've done.
And remember, some of tonight's winners will go through to the Pride of Newcastle Awards. Those of you who are being put through will be emailed tomorrow, so wish you the best of luck with all that. So please stay down here and enjoy your wine, and then please join us upstairs in Luther's for our after party, where there'll be free pizza as well. And we'll be there to celebrate all the fantastic work that all you guys have done here. So thank you for joining myself and Rowan here tonight.